Thank you for joining us on This Is Exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a story that's caught everyone's eye across India. A Russian woman with her two daughters living in a cave in Gokarna in Karnataka. Her visa expired several years ago, according to reports, and she will have to be deported to Russia. But how long did she live in the cave, and how did they survive inside a cave? A Russian woman and her two daughters. A big exclusive on the show as I speak to the husband of Nina Kutina, a Russian 40-year-old woman. Her Israeli husband is joining us live on the show. Here are the headlines this evening. Russian woman with two kids found living in a cave for years, taken into custody now. She embraced Hinduism, living in the wild. Full story on Republic. The Israeli husband of the Russian cave family rushes to India to meet his family, says they've been separated for years. Chhatra League workers allegedly storm National Citizen Party rally in Gopalganj. Police officers injured in arson violence. Republic accesses the Juvenile Justice Board order on the fatal Pune Porsche car crash which led to 2 deaths. The board calls the crime serious but not heinous. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a story that sounds straight out of a survival novel. A 40-year-old Russian woman, her name is Nina Kutina, with two young daughters inside a cave deep in the forests of Gokarna in Karnataka. But this isn't fiction. She had been living in complete isolation inside a natural cave for several weeks and months, accompanied by just her two young daughters, Priya and Amma. The family had set up a modest space within a cave surrounded by dense forests, steep slopes. The unusual discovery made during a routine patrol by a policeman in Karnataka who were monitoring the area for any possible landslides. That's when they stumbled upon the cave family. Here's their story.
40-year-old Nina Kutina from Russia was found in a cave by a police team during a routine safety patrol. Kutina and her daughters, aged 4 and 6 years, were found on the 11th of July, living in a secluded cave nestled among the dense forests and rugged terrain for 2 weeks. When found, she said that she overstayed her business visa in India because of several complicated reasons.
We have big experience to stay in natural, in jungle, and we was not dying, and I was not bring my my daughters to dying in jungle. They was not feel bad. They was very happy. They was swim in waterfall. They was have very good place for sleeping. A lot of lessons with art making. We make from clay. We painting.
Haunted by personal losses, she turned inward. She says she delivered all her children without doctors, relying on knowledge, instinct, and solitude. Today, the family is in government care. But Kutina says the conditions are starkly different. Uncomfortable, dirty, and lacking the peace they once had in the wild. Authorities are now investigating her immigration status. Kutina's next steps and the fate of her daughters remain uncertain as the legal process unfolds.
Beena, from the Indian legal perspective, I've been reading that she will have to find her way back, right? I don't know what the Indian government can do. What is the way forward if she were to have a very, very special guest on the show? The story that you just saw now of Nina Kutina with her two children living in a cave. I have her husband, Diror Goldstein, joining me on This Is Exclusive this evening. Diror, good evening.
Good evening.
Diror, you're an Israeli citizen, am I correct?
Yes.
So, for how long have you been linked or attached or married to Nina Kutina?
We met, it was 2017. It was in Goa. She was in Goa when I arrived. It was my first time in India. And yeah, we got very close together. I met her together with her two boys. And I rented a house for us and we lived 7 months. That was our, you can say, our first time together.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw her, Diror?
Last time I saw Nina was before I left to Israel. It was March 2025.
This year?
Yeah.
And where did you meet her last?
I met her in Gokarna,
Gokarna.
main beach. Yeah.
Right. And that is where she was found in a cave. So when you met her, was she already living with the children in a cave or was she living elsewhere?
So we met on the beach, but she didn't want to share exactly where she lives. When I arrived, I found her there because people told me she's staying close to the main beach. And I spent a few days close to them. And then I left back to Goa.
Okay. So you met her briefly is what I understand, right? For some time.
If what was the question?
You met her for a very brief period, for some time, very short time.
Yes. Like nowadays, our connection is not that good, and it's hard for me to come, and it's not very easy to be together with my daughters. The last year.
Yeah. And so you went back to Israel and you heard about the story and you rushed back.
Actually, I came back before the story began.
Right.
I had the flight because I want to be here. I want to be also close to Nina's son, who was staying with me. So I actually had the flight ticket for last month. And then the war started in Israel and my flight got cancelled. And the moment I could book a new flight, I booked it and it was last week. So I arrived on the 7th of July. And 2-3 days after, I saw this report. And I immediately booked a flight to Bangalore to try and, first of all, meet them and then try my best to take care of the situation.
So from what I understand, her son lives with you and...
So, yeah, like he was living with me for a few months.
Okay.
Last season,
okay.
I could say.
And the two daughters are now with her?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you know about the circumstances why she began living in a cave? Is that because her visa expired? Is that what you understand?
So, first of all, she loves living in the nature. Like, I understand there's a lot of really good things for us. If it's fresh air and good water and, serenity and quiet. Like we did have for the first time a disconnection money-wise because I kept sending money from the moment we had our first daughter. Before that, we also lived together, so I took care of everyone. But since more than 6 years, I've been sending money and took care of Nina and all her kids. And just a few months ago, because it was she made it very hard for me to get in touch with my daughters. I told her I would stop sending the money unless I can be close to my daughters. And she said no. Then I stopped sending the money and maybe this is also the reason why she started living outside, but I don't think it's the main reason.
Okay. And did you know that her visa had expired? Were you aware of that?
I was aware that at the end of 2004, she needs to renew the visa.
Right. Now, a lot of people are, fascinated by how the family, your family, lived inside the cave. I saw the first video a few minutes back, where I don't know how she found that cave, first of all, and I'll play the visual of the cave in just a few seconds. It seems like she has also said that there was a spiritual awakening, and it appears like she has embraced Hinduism. And inside the cave, as you're entering, there are gods and the pictures of gods. It's a very, very endearing sight to see how in a cave where there are 3 or 4 trenches, 3 or 4 portions in the cave, very cutely done up for her kids, for her daughters to live there. You had no idea about any of this.
I had no idea about the cave, but first time I met Nina, she was living in the jungle, and I know how well she treats the space and how she makes every place a home, and how beautiful she also takes care of the children.
As per the law, we need to hide and conceal their identities, right, in India. So I'm trying to do that so that we don't show the faces of your daughters, to respect your privacy as well. But tell us a little bit more about them. They seem to be very happy living in the wild, in a cave with your wife.
Yes, they are they're really artistic. They really love painting, singing. They love swimming. They are great swimmers, because also when they were in Goa, we were going swimming all the time. We were close to a lake. And they're very connected to nature. It's like by birth. Like they spend a lot of time from all their childhood just very close to nature.
What happens now? From a legal perspective, I believe your advocate is also there, Beena Pillai. I'd like to also bring her in. From a legal perspective, I'd like to hear from the both of you. You can start, and then maybe Beena can take it from there. How do you plan to take this legally? Because see, as per the law, she doesn't have a visa. She will have to be sent back to her country. She will have to be deported, right? How do you now plan? I understand you're separated. Is that correct? Is my understanding correct? Diror, you're separated from her?
Yes.
Okay. So legally, what is the way forward for you?
So, my main, the thing I want the most is to be close to my daughters. And for that, I really need to make a shared custody. Like, not to take the girls from their mom, but to be with them as well. To be with them a nice part of the time, to be close to them. And if they will be now deported, it can be very hard to make that. They might disappear, and I will not be able to see them for a lot of years. That's my biggest fear now.
Yeah. Beena, from the Indian legal perspective, I've been reading that she will have to find her way back, right? I don't know what the Indian government can do. What is the way forward if she were to be deported? How does that happen? And how are you fighting that?
See, the immediate deportation, when it comes to that is where we have disagreement. He was the one who was taking care of them. As he said, from 2017 onwards, the entire family, including Nina's 2 children, the boys, he was taking care of them. Every month he was sending around $4,000 to the children. And Nina is not working. When it comes to the custody of the children, the domicile, of course, for those children are in India. They were in India for the past 5.5 years or 6 years, when it comes to the children. So the jurisdiction, even if we consider the international law, when it comes to custody, the place of residence is the jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So in that perspective, of course, Indian courts have the proper jurisdiction to consider the custody of the children. What I understood from Diror is that he wanted to ensure the safety of the children. He wanted to, ensure that the children are interacted with the public and they should get the proper education. That is the three things he has informed me. I'm also working, towards that.
So he wants... Diror wants the children to remain in India, is that correct?
I want the children to stay close where I am.
Okay.
I can go also to other countries, but I want to make sure that I know where they are and I can always get close to them.
Got it.
And take care of them.
She has 4 children, 2 boys from earlier, and 2 girls with you. And she stopped taking the money, or rather you stopped sending the money. I'm just wondering, how did she manage living in a cave? How did she cook? How did she feed the children? Very interesting questions, because I didn't see too many vessels inside. I don't know, did she cook? How did she survive with the children?
So I did, when I met her in Gokarna, I gave her a new card and I started sending money again. It was less money than before, but enough money for everything they need. And how I know Nina, she can settle for a lot less. She can cook from the fire. She has a lot of, practice in that, in living outdoors.
Sorry to interrupt. In
Please.
fact, she has his card and he stopped it for 2-3 months, right?
Yeah.
Not for more than that. From 2017 to 2024, he was paying money as well as he was filling the card. That is what he said.
Okay.
And for 2-3 months, he might have stopped it. After that, he has given filled the card again.
Yeah.
So that way, I don't think that there was any problem. And the money which he was giving to her, I think $4,000 per month is a big amount. Even they have taken a house in Goa where he was paying around 90,000 or 85,000 or something towards the rent.
Okay.
So all the comfort he has given to them, only worry in the sense, she left in 2024 December to Gokarna. So immediately he filed a missing complaint in the police station when he is not able to find out the children. So those complaints are with me. I can also share if you want. So, after that he came to know from one of his friends that the children are in Gokarna. That is why he went to Gokarna.
Okay. Right. My last question to you, Diror. Now, there are reports that her visa expired a long time ago and she left and she came back via Nepal. What do you know about her re-entry into India?
As I understand, she had a visa, like a valid visa, until August 2024.
Okay. Okay. So that's your understanding.
Yes.
Right. How are the children being treated there? I believe that they are at a women and childcare center. Are they being treated too well?
I don't know. I wish I knew more about how they're doing.
Okay.
In fact, he tried to, meet the children through FRRO, but he couldn't meet them. He didn't get a permission. He couldn't meet the children.
Okay. Very interesting. In fact, a lot of people are fascinated, surprised. It's such a human story that all of us are following. And we wish you all the best, Diror, in your attempt to... I know that you're trying to see the children and as much as you can. They're equally both yours and hers. And I wish you all the best in your legal battles to Bina and you. Thank you for speaking to Republic TV this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Moving on to some news coming in from Bangladesh, where we've received some pictures. Some pictures have come into our newsroom of the violence, the rioting that has begun in Bangladesh. Once again, these are pictures coming in from Gopalganj in Bangladesh, where a series of violent incidents were reported. Today, through the day, this is surrounding the month-long central program which was called July March of the National Citizens Party, a party in Bangladesh. This was orchestrated by activists of a banned organization called the Chhatra League. And from this morning to this evening, several parts of Gopalganj in Bangladesh witnessed arson on the police, attacks on the police, and also vehicles of the Yunus government. These are pictures that the Yunus government tries to hide. There were reports of cocktail explosions, vandalism at this particular venue. At 12:45 this afternoon, some members of the Chhatra League also entered the rally venue in Gopalganj with a procession, chanting slogans and storming the stage. Eyewitnesses also reporting that they tore down banners and posters and vandalized chairs. Some more details coming in that during the attack, some cocktail explosions, some Molotovs were also hurled, several people injured. And these were activists and members of a group that was called APBN in Bangladesh. Activists fled the venue, but later returned after additional police were deployed. And this was early this morning. Pictures that came in from Bangladesh. We'll take a short break now as we get you the details. Forces were mobilized in Gopalganj after arson, rioting reported through the day today. Keeping a close track on the situation in Bangladesh and much more. 3 big debates coming up tonight, starting 8 p.m. Stay tuned.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप। Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar.
Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना। The execution of Indian nurse Nimisha Priya, scheduled to be carried out on July 16, 2025 in Yemen, has been postponed. It was only after the intervention of India's Grand Mufti and Sunni leader, Kantapuram AP Abu Bakr Musliar, officially known as Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed, that Yemen government has ordered the postponement of Nimisha Priya's execution, an order that Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed shared on social media. Nimisha Priya has been on death row since 2018 for the murder of a business partner in 2017. The murder reportedly had made a deep emotional impact not only on the family of Mahdi but also among the community at Dhanmar in Yemen. The family has not agreed to pardon her and neither have they accepted blood money. All hopes were lost for Nimisha Priya. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed intervened. He reached out to the brother of the victim. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed is the 10th Grand Mufti of India and the first Shafi scholar from South India. He is recognized as one of the 500 influential Muslims worldwide by the 500 Influential Muslim magazine published in Jordan. He's also the General Secretary of the All India Islamic Scholars Association. Over 20,000 religious scholars have graduated under his supervision, and he is known as a scholar and peace promoter. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed.
The reason we've launched the Nationalist Collective is because we believe it is time now for a group of ideologically driven Indians to drive the destiny of our country. For far too long, people who have had interests inimical to national interest have held sway. We need to put nationalism first, nation first. The Nationalist Collective is a very clear and sharp movement, presents the spirit of a new India which stands by what is right, does what is right, and raises its voice for what is right. Remember, this country is safe only if it is in the hands of nationalists. This country will grow only if nation first becomes our principal motto, where the only ism that matters is nationalism. Join the Nationalist Collective. It is going to be the largest non-political movement in this country.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
The execution of Indian nurse Nimisha Priya, scheduled to be carried out on July 16, 2025 in Yemen, has been postponed. It was only after the intervention of India's Grand Mufti and Sunni leader, Kantapuram AP Abu Bakr Musliar, officially known as Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed, that Yemen government has ordered the postponement of Nimisha Priya's execution, an order that Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed shared on social media. Nimisha Priya has been on death row since 2018 for the murder of a business partner in 2017. The murder reportedly had made a deep emotional impact not only on the family of Mahdi but also among the community at Dhanmar in Yemen. The family has not agreed to pardon her and neither have they accepted blood money. All hopes were lost for Nimisha Priya. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed intervened. He reached out to the brother of the victim. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed is the 10th Grand Mufti of India and the first Shafi scholar from South India. He is recognized as one of the 500 influential Muslims worldwide by the 500 Influential Muslim magazine published in Jordan. He is also the General Secretary of the All India Islamic Scholars Association. Over 20,000 religious scholars have graduated under his supervision, and he is known as a scholar and peace promoter. Sheikh Abu Bakr Ahmed made the intervention after an appeal by a few politicians. He reportedly reached out to the brother of the victim through prominent Yemeni Islamic scholar Habib Omar bin Hafiz in a last-ditch effort to seek a reprieve for Nimisha. Sheikh Habib Omar bin Hafiz is a much-respected scholar who is a member of the Yemen Shura Council and a follower of the Sufi order. He entrusted his brother's son, Habib Abdurrahman Ali Mashur, to initiate talks with Mahdi's family. Although the family of the victim has not agreed to a pardon, all hope is not lost for Nimisha Priya.
നമുക്ക് ആലോചിക്കുകയും പ്രവർത്തിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യാമല്ലോ. തെറ്റ് ചെയ്തവരെ ശിക്ഷിക്കുകയോ ശിക്ഷിക്കാതിരിക്കുകയോ അതൊന്നും നമ്മുടെ അധീനത്തിൽപ്പെട്ടത് അല്ല, മറിച്ച്
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
From your smart screens to your smart television, the trending stories are always breaking the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, on this edition of Trending, it looks like we're going to get you how the Prada team is on a damage control mode. Turns out the team visited Kolhapuri craftsmen in India, hinting at a possible collaboration. Netizens, but they seem to be divided now. Is it a PR move, or will it actually be beneficial for the artisan? Do they really genuinely want to help them out? All right, we're also going to cover the NCERT revision saga, which has got everyone talking. Not just that, viewers, the stray dog menace is on the rise across the country. On the other side of the world, there is a new turn in the Epstein saga, and we'll get you all the details. Last but not least, in the world of entertainment, Beyonc finds herself in hot soup now. Turns out that her unreleased track has been stolen. All that and more on this edition of Trending with me, Rakshita. Now, viewers, a global luxury fashion brand Prada seems to be in a damage control mode. Remember, viewers, we got you the story how Prada recently faced criticism after showcasing Kolhapuri-style slippers at the Milan Fashion Week without acknowledging their origins. Netizens were outraged. They even called it cultural appropriation and that it was nothing to be proud of. And now, viewers, in a last-ditch effort to save face, a 4-member team from the Italian luxury fashion brand spent time with Kolhapuri chappal craftsmen in Kolhapur of Maharashtra. They say it was to understand the nuances of their pursuit. They visited their homes from where many are known to operate their businesses, followed by factories in an industrial belt. Now, this comes after last week's development where in a first video conference with Prada's representatives, officials from Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture suggested recognition of the Kolhapuri brand through a Made in India collection, partnering with local artisans, a move that Prada has agreed to. Now, it's safe to say, viewers, that some netizens are just not buying this. They are calling it a marketing move. They are saying that they are just acting nice by visiting the artisans. However, the internet seems to be divided. The other half says that this potential collaboration could be a blessing in disguise after all. They are even saying, and I quote, Kolhapuri artisans owe these platforms now with an assured revival of their art, unquote. And viewers, shifting focus now. The question is right now on the story, is history being rewritten or just retold, reframing? NCERT's Class 8 history textbook actually have been revised to include chapters on the brutality of Delhi rulers and Mughal intolerance. But it also adds a disclaimer there, noting that the content is based on historical sources and interpretation. It's not demonizing anybody. The move now has triggered a wave of reactions. The historical figures who were once described as tolerant are now updated. Now they're described in a negative manner. Babur is now referred to as a cruel conqueror. Akbar portrayed as a mixture of tolerance and cruelty. And Aurangzeb is noted for demolishing temples and gurudwaras during his rule. So it sparked multiple debates, mostly being positive. And people have asked for the removal, the Mughal content for them being too barbaric. Netizens say, and I quote, "It's good, I appreciate this." Okay, so there are multiple reactions that have come in. Many have rejected the move as well, some even calling the Mughals secular. And I have with me senior historian Sachidanand Joshi joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Joshi, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. Sir, the history has been filtered for the longest time. While we do discuss in news channels about, there have been so many instances when history has been talked about, from jizya to conversions to demolishing of temples. Everything comes to the fore when we cover such cases. But this was never a part of at least my school syllabus. And now we are seeing that things are changing. And now the history, the untold history, is also being included. Many political parties are asking for practicing caution, while there are parties who are also welcoming it. Sir, as an historian, how do you see this development? How significant is it?
You see, this is an important development because as you rightly said, that we have never studied this history in our school days, but there is a time to study the right history, the correct history, the factual history. When we see the temples broken, when we see the statues, sculptures beheaded, and when the children ask who has done this, we don't have an answer to this. We need to come to the correct point, the right perspective of history. We are not abusing, nobody is abusing anyone, but whatever somebody has done in the past needs to be told correctly to the students. This is very important and pertinent. I also feel that there should not be any hue and cry about the facts being said in the history textbooks, because we are not accusing anyone who is present. It is the past has gone, but we need to understand what all has happened in the past, and that is why the books are being written like this. That's my viewpoint. Yeah.
But sir, how important does it become? Because I know that there will be people, and there are people who will say that, why is the center, or those behind this, busy rewriting this, or rather redrafting history. Many, as you said, that there are several insinuations made. But sir, how important is it for the students to understand the truth in contemporary, in modern times?
Yeah, it's not the question of redrafting the history. Nobody is redrafting. It is the matter of putting the facts in the right perspective clearly. That is very important. You see, when somebody asks about jizya, we need to tell them what exactly jizya was, and onto whom it was imposed, who were the sufferers, and why they suffered, and how it was imposed, how it was forcibly imposed on people on certain castes, following certain religions. We also need to understand how people, how women, how children were slaughtered, how they were brutally murdered. We are also supposed to tell that how in different regimes people have really acted inhumanly on people belonging to certain religion. For instance, when we talk about Aurangzeb, who can forget that Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji sacrificed his life, and not only Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, but along with him Bhai Mati Das, Bhai Sati Das, and Bhai Dayala, and they were brutally murdered, like inhumanly murdered. So who will understand about all these things? Or the martyrdom of Sahibzades, the Sahibzade Ajit Singh, Sahibzade Zorawar Singh Ji, they lost their lives in the Battle of Sirhind.
Right,
but
sir.
What about Sahibzade Zorawar Singh or Sahibzade Fateh Singh, who were brutally murdered? So all these things need to be understood. And it's not the fact that children are not exposed to other source of knowledge. They are exposed to several things which are telling the real part of history. So there will be a conflict that the child is learning something through other sources, like for instance, internet, or from other books which they are reading. But in their textbook, we are telling them something else which is not pertinent. That is my submission.
Joshi ji, thanks so much for joining us on Republic TV with your thoughts on that. Now we shift our focus to the other stories, other trends that are running hot on social media today. Group captain Shubhanshu Shukla shared a heartwarming post on Instagram And I quote the caption, "Space flight is amazing, but seeing your loved ones after a long time is equally amazing. It has been 2 months since I entered quarantine. During the quarantine family visits, we had to be 8 meters apart." So those are the visuals, viewers, of the heartwarming reunion. Shubhan Shukla with his son and his wife, Kamna Shukla, after he made the successful splashdown yesterday in the Pacific. Now, singer Beyonce's vault has just got raided. And no, this isn't part of a surprise drop. Unreleased tracks by Queen Bey were reportedly stolen in a shocking music heist. Hard drives containing Beyonce's unreleased music and several other items were stolen from a car that had been rented by her choreographer during a Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta last week. A bolt of lightning dramatically struck the World Trade Center as a massive storm swept through New York City. Flash flood warnings have been issued across Staten Island, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Westchester. Now, roads are swamped, subways struggling. The alerts are expected to stay in place till at least 9:45 p.m. A torrential downpour had caused flash floods across tri-state area, crippling travel by air and rail. Dramatic footage captured water pouring onto the subway platforms and in New York, leaving thousands stranded. Airports saw dozens of flight cancellations and delays, and netizens say this is Mumbai during monsoons. In other New Jersey, rainfall was so extreme that a state of emergency had to be declared. Donald Trump is back with some unsolicited advice, only this time for Ukraine. The former US president said Ukraine should not target Moscow, hinting it could escalate the war beyond repair. His comments come just as Kiev ramps up long-range strikes deep into Russian territory. Trump's tone was cautionary, but critics say it sounds more like a soft spot for the Kremlin. He also threw in a veiled threat, suggesting US support might not last forever. Meanwhile, Zelensky has not responded, but Twitter sure has. As usual, Trump stirred the pot. The headlines followed.
The tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on. We shouldn't target Moscow. The tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on. We shouldn't target Moscow. The tariffs are going to go on and other...
Donald Trump's mic drop moments continue, this time with a side of sarcasm. At a recent press interaction, Trump jokingly asked a reporter, and I quote, "Are you a citizen? If yes, then you'll be getting a lot of money," after being quizzed on immigration. Now, the comments sparked awkward laughter in the room and instant reactions online. Critics call it flippant, while supporters brushed it off as classic Trump humor. Donald Trump just stirred another controversy. He claimed that FIFA gifted him the real Club World Cup trophy, and not temporarily, but forever. In a classic Trump style, he says that it now lives in the Oval Office, right next to world diplomacy and Diet Coke. Social media could not decide if it was satire, sarcasm, or straight-up delusion. FIFA has not officially responded yet, and no one's sure if the trophy was a replica or the real deal. Donald Trump now, as per his claim, World Cup winner and least in his own universe. He just displayed this FIFA Club World Cup trophy, winner's medal, claiming it was gifted to him. He even showed off the actual trophy as he scored the final goal himself. Now, James Gunn's upcoming Superman film has sparked a 500% spike in dog adoptions across the US. Viewers saw the loyal super pup in the trailer and instantly wanted a real-life furry friend. Shelters say families are specifically asking for crypto-like dogs. Social media is flooded with photos of adopted pups wearing capes. Gunn has not commented, but animal shelters are calling it the crypto effect. Anand Mahindra just rolled out the red carpet with a twist. Reacting to news of Tesla's India entry, the Mahindra boss tweeted a cheeky message to Elon Musk, "See you at the charging station." Now, the internet loved the power play, calling it the most polite corporate showdown ever. And now, viewers, a major cultural flashpoint unfolded as the Satyajit Ray's ancestral home in Myanmar Singh of Bangladesh was demolished, sparking outrage. The property, originally belonging to Ray's grandfather and Bengal Renaissance figure Upendra Kishore Ray Chaudhary, had been abandoned since 2014. Now, this follows the vandalizing of Rabindranath Tagore's ancestral home a month prior. India has officially expressed profound regret and offered technical and financial assistance to Bangladesh to reconstruct the site as a museum or heritage center. Kiara and Sidharth became parents for the first time, welcoming a baby girl. On the 16th of July, the couple confirmed the news via Instagram with a note and a pastel pink announcement card featuring balloons and stars. They wrote, and I quote, "Our hearts are full and our world forever changed. We are blessed with a baby girl, Kiara and Sidharth." Singer Selena Gomez and fiancé Benny Blanco will soon be saying "I do" in California. The vows will be exchanged in an intimate ceremony with just families and friends. The bride and the groom are said to be officiated by podcaster friend Jay Shetty. Gomez will shine in white while the A-listers of music industry will be present. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte warned from Brazil, China and India that they could be hit very hard by secondary sanctions if they continue to do business with Russia. Now, Rutte made the comment after meeting Trump and threatened biting secondary tariffs on 100% on the buyers of Russian export unless there is a peace deal in 50 days. So he basically had threatened BRICS, that includes India, says if you're living in New Delhi or in Beijing, and he took the name of other places, BRIC members, saying that you would be hit very hard. And ladies and gentlemen, yet another case of dog menace. Dog attack has emerged today, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. A 2-month-old infant was brutally mauled to death by a pack of stray dogs in Gujarat's Porbandar, sending shockwaves across the nation. In a concerning trend, India has recorded 22 lakh dog bite cases and 48 deaths from rabies in just 2024, raising alarm over the country's progress towards a rabies-free status. According to the NCERT data, 1.75 lakh dog bite cases were reported in 2024 alone. What's more distressing is that 20% of the victims are infants and children, with 5.19 lakh cases involving those under 15 years of age. The incident has sparked widespread public outrage, with netizens reacting strongly to the surge in cases. One user even called for a nationwide campaign to sterilize and vaccinate all street dogs. And viewers, the final trending story of this show now. Epstein file saga has taken yet another dramatic turn. This time, Senate Speaker Mike Johnson, a key presidential aide, has broken ranks with Donald Trump, voicing strong support for making the Epstein files public. He says that the current administration must embrace transparency and put all the lingering doubts to rest by releasing the documents. Epstein files, viewers, have already stirred political controversy, and Trump had previously dismissed the matter, calling it a waste of time. But with growing cracks within the MAGA camp, the pressure is mounting over Trump administration.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Following the comment made by Speaker Johnson, many netizens quickly reacted to the comment by saying that watch what the Republicans do, as in how they vote, not what Republicans say on camera. with that, it's a wrap on this edition of What's Trending, viewers. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
Indian hypersonic cruise missile. There is great news for the Indian people. India's DRDO has just perfected, has just made an extended technology, long duration hypersonic cruise missile. Quite a mouthful, but it is going to be a fistful for our enemies, the enemies of this country. It is the ET LDHCM missile, okay, extended technology, long duration hypersonic cruise missile. Everybody knows about the BrahMos now. In Operation Sindoor, the supersonic. BrahMos is supersonic. This new missile is hypersonic. And with this, India has entered a select league of countries like Russia, China, America, India. Even America is yet to perfect its cruise missile. India, even Iran, it is said, has these hypersonic cruise missiles, right? And they are unstoppable. In Ukraine, Russia, whenever Russia has fired the hypersonic cruise missile, no defense system, not the Patriot, nor the third American Patriot systems, Israeli very high level defense system have been able to stop hypersonic missiles. They are unstoppable. And therefore, India has entered a very select league. These missiles are, going to be very, very accurate. Why? We have demonstrated that. We have the Navik, the Indian constellation of 12 satellites which are up there, low Earth orbit satellites.
एक तो इलेक्शन कमीशन बैठे हैं, मैं उसको डिसरेस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई बीजेपी दलाली करे तो हम उसको इंसान के लिए हम कहेंगे दलाली मत करना।
Mamta warns Election Commission says will oppose tooth and nail if EC calls for an electoral roll revision in Bengal. Strain in BJP AIADMK alliance. EPS says alliance with BJP is only for the 2026 assembly polls and there won't be a coalition government in Tamil Nadu after the elections. Republic accesses Juvenile Justice Board order on fatal Pune Porsche case which led to the death of 2 people. Board calls the crime serious but not heinous enough.
Stray dog menace rising in India. A young girl attacked by stray dogs in Chitradurga, Karnataka. And after Congress MLA son car rams into police constable, MLA mother defends son, cries political vendetta.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
ग्रेजुटी का चेक है, बस इन पैसों को हम कहीं इन्वेस्ट कर दें और रेगुलर इनकम भी आती रहे।
तो फिर फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डाल दीजिए। फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड और मनी मार्केट में पैसा डालते हैं और सिस्टमैटिक विड्रॉल प्लान के जरिए आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी मिलती रहेगी।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Well, at the end of 50 days, if we don't have a deal, it's going to be too bad. Yeah, the tariffs are going to go on and other sanctions go on.
Donald Trump has defended his statement giving a 50-day ultimatum to Russia to end the war with Ukraine. Trump had earlier warned Russia of 100% tariffs if a deal wasn't struck with Ukraine.
And one of the reasons that you're here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia. But we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means.
Russia did not take to Trump's warning kindly. Kremlin has called Trump's statement quite serious and that Putin will respond to it only if necessary.
Заявления президента США весьма серьезные. Что-то в них адресовано лично президенту Путину. Нам, безусловно, нужно время для анализа сказанного в Вашингтоне. И если и когда президент Путин посчитает необходимым, он это обязательно прокомментирует.
Nevertheless, Donald Trump has defended his statement and also revealed if he plans to send long-range weapons to Ukraine.
You've given Russia 50 days. What happens now? Do you talk to Vladimir Putin?
Well, at the end of 50 days, if we